So we got some news on Splinter Cell, and honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed to hear this because I didn't even know about this news until I was able to read this article. So I figured it was something we can go ahead and go over. So, Leaker shares bittersweet news for Splinter Cell fans. The Splinter Cell remake has been internally delayed according to a new report from a well-known insider. However, it's not all bad news for Splinter Cell fans. Ubisoft announced the remake of the first Splinter Cell game in December 2021, so 3 years ago, pretty much. Not much has been officially said about the project ever since, with fans waiting for the company to show any gameplay from the upcoming title. So, this is giving me very much Prince of Persia vibes. So, for anyone that doesn't know, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time was the first game in the trilogy that they had did that was on, I believe, GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox. And they had announced that they were going to be coming out with a remake in 2020. So they said that in 2021 January they were going to be coming out with a remake for that game, and it ended up getting delayed. They delayed the game, and there was no further information as to what the status was going to be. And to this day, we really haven't heard much news. There's been some rumblings here and there, them talking about them, still working on it. But as far as like a fan goes, yeah, we still haven't heard any news on anything that's going to be happening. So hearing that this is getting delayed, that isn't a good sign, especially considering that it's from the same company, Ubisoft. So the way that Ubisoft's been, they've been handling business and everything like that, they're not in a particularly good space. So you got to think they came out with their new Prince of Persia game this year, which didn't do well. They had Star Wars Outlaws, which was pretty much a buggy mess and had a whole bunch of issues. They had Skull and Bones come out, which pretty much went on sale. I think it was like 3 months after the game was released, which is never a good sign. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which I heard the sales weren't really good for that. And then X Defiant, which hasn't had any news come of it. So the fact that they're having all these flops and they're saying that this is what's going on right now with the Splinter Cell remake, in a way it's unfortunate because it's like I personally would love to see a Splinter Cell remake, but at the same time, I kind of think I'm okay with them not doing anything at the moment because the way that they've been, like their track record has been with a lot of games recently, at this point, I don't think they would actually make a good remake of Splinter Cell. So those are my thoughts. Let me go ahead and get a little bit further into this article here. So Ubisoft reportedly working on Splinter Cell 2 project. An unofficial update on the matter has recently offered by Brazilian journalist Pedro Henrique Luri Lupe, what a name, who claims that the much anticipated Splinter Cell remake has been internally delayed, citing sources familiar with the matter, but the insider also shared some good news for the fans of the franchise, having said that Ubisoft is supposedly working on another Splinter Cell project, a remaster of Splinter Cell Blacklist. The original plan for this game was to be released in 2024, and then the company was intended on announcing it in July, as per the same source. Why that purported plan didn't come to pass is presently unclear. So more than likely, I mean, like I said before, they've been having a horrible track record. So my guess is chances are they started on the remake for the original, but they were probably half-assing it, not doing a good job. And then on top of that, they're putting on another project, which is Splinter Cell Blacklist. If you guys are having issues with remaking the first game, I really don't have much faith in them to be doing well enough to be able to make another Splinter Cell remake. The way I see it, work on the first game, see if you can actually make that a good remake, and then if that one does well, then continue on and try to see what you can go further down the line. That's how I feel about the whole situation. The fact that they have 2 Splinter Cell projects in the works, it isn't a good sign, in my opinion. I don't think that's something that we should be looking forward to, in the sense that if they're going to be keeping up with the track record that they have, it's most likely not going to be a good thing. So let's go ahead and continue on. So Splinter Cell remake is reportedly nowhere near done, which isn't shocking, honestly. As for the Splinter Cell remake, Lipe claimed that the game is not in great shape right now, citing that the reason for this alleged postpartum, and while the work on it is said to continue, it is still too early to talk about potential release window, the leaker said. Lupe reported that Ubisoft's year-long radio silence aren't the only indicators that the project is facing difficulties, not least because of Splinter Cell Remake also lost its director back in 2022. So it's just clearly there's signs that this isn't going to do well. While third-party claims of this sort should have been taken to a dose of skepticism, Lipe does have a decent recent track record of industry insight, having broken the story of the Switch 2 being delayed for 2025 earlier this year, in addition to correctly predicting the August 2024 Nintendo Direct. His latest report also saw that his remake of the current turmoil at Ubisoft, stating that the company staffers are presently fearful about any more big budget games underperforming. Clearly, because I mean, all the ones that I had already mentioned earlier, some people are speculating the reason that they're waiting for Assassin's Creed Shadow is because of the fact that they've had so many flops this year. They don't want that one to be another one down the list. So they pretty much delayed it till February of next year. But at the same time, that wasn't looking good to investors. Investors had seen that they delayed the game again, and the stock of Ubisoft, I think, is at like an 11-year low record. So clearly they're in a bad spot. So if they're working on some remakes, chances are, again, they're probably not going to be good. So let's go ahead and finish this up right here. So the most recent title to do with Star Wars Outlaws, which Ubisoft itself acknowledged didn't meet the sales expectations in recent investor update. Faced with its turn of events, the company decided to delay Assassin's Creed Shadows for 3 months, pushing it to February 14th of 2025. Many of which people are speculating the reason that Ubisoft did that is because of the fact that Assassin's Creed Shadows stars a black character, and they're trying to wait till February so that they can try to go for a Black History Month type of release date, which in my mind is fucking pathetic. I think that's really stupid. I think it's really sad that they're trying to go that route. So in order to work on polishing it, so Lupe said that the Ubisoft feels confident in the game's overall quality, but was wary of players' reactions to the current bugs, which is what motivated the postponement. Ubisoft's own delay announcement hinted as much. So I don't know, man. At this point, I'm pretty much done with Ubisoft. I think that they're pretty much on their way out. It feels like they're on borrowed time at this point. So the only thing I feel like we can really hope for is that the franchises like Splinter Cell are going to be put into the hands of people that actually care. Not just about the story, like the characters and the IP itself, but care about actually coming out with a good game. Because at the end of the day, I've said it multiple times, especially in the videos that I've been doing here, that's what we want as gamers. We want a good game. We don't want you to have to do all this extra stuff, do all this inclusivity or anything like that. Just make a good game that's fun and enjoyable. Hell, even if you decide to enable the inclusivity and stuff like that, make a female character that's the lead, you know, that's a boss babe or whatever. If you can make the game good and you do all that stuff, I don't fucking care. As long as the game is fun and enjoyable and good, then I'll be playing it myself. So as far as this goes, you know, Splinter is bittersweet news for Splinter Cell fans. No, I don't really think this was good news at all, because all it was that they're delaying the remake for the original Splinter Cell, but they're making another remake for Splinter Cell Blacklist. And at this point, with the lack of faith that gamers have in the company itself, this probably won't end well for them. So those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And yeah, until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.